y'all thought of bullying me as an option. Well, it's a bad idea. Oh, that's a smoke grenade, the RDG-2B. But that's not what we're after on this, is it? Nope. What we're after today is directions. Take me to Tillamook Sporting Goods.
Tillamook Sporting Goods. All right.
I can't take care of myself, and I know that insults a lot of people. You find it offensive, and you don't want to have to wipe my ass for me. Well, good for you. That makes two of us.
Toward Oregon 6 East, then turn left onto Oregon 6 West.
I can't take care of myself.
May be closed by the time you arrive.
And you have any idea how fucking shitty it is when somebody can't take care of themselves and you fucking treat them like they're a goddamn freeloader? Like they just don't want to do nothing. It's horse shit. A lot of people like the fact that I was honest until I was honest about them. And then it was as if I'd committed some unforgivable sin, eh? I wonder if the young woman who threatened at the school is one of them three young ladies who is calling me the N-word. Might have been. Their mama might have recognized that scream and gone, oh. That ain't what we teach at this house. And I do want to say that them folks at the Tillamook Sporting Goods, they could have thrown a goddamn tantrum a long time ago. Same thing with the guy at the smoke shop. Same thing with the people at the pizza place. There's a few people over there that have been 86th. I ain't one of them. Even though I could have been on multiple occasions. But also, unlike the situation over at Fred Meyer, Fred Meyer let people know what was going up. And same thing over there at the Sporting Goods. If there's something going down, I tell them. Them youngins holding that little wannabe KKK rally is definitely creepy to me. Graduating to school terrorism. And you know, didn't we have a school shooter in the last year? Was trying to transition from being a girl into being a boy. Walked into the school and blasted a bunch of kids. Or went in with the intent to do so. I just realized I have the parking lot to myself right now. Although it's closed in 12 minutes. What was that lady's name? Andrea Thomas, is that right? Probably not. I'm fucking horrible with names. There's a lady there, one of the managers, and she's always super nice, but she's very direct as well. She'll go back and forth between the two, depending on what needs done. Same thing with Miss Shirley. The difference between Miss Shirley and the lady whose name I can't never remember is that I can remember Miss Shirley's name because her name tag says Miss Shirley. Shirley, her name is Shirley. Anyway, none of these people hurt me. None of them harmed me. There was a couple of them when I first started coming here that eyeballed me pretty good. But I guess you could say I won them over, although that's not the way I want to look at it or see it. I wish people could have recognized me for who I was a long time ago. I wish my family would have recognized who I am a long time ago, but they never saw me as anything but a mark. I got an older brother who's always trying to tell me how not to get took. I'm like, shit, Rabbit. I know better how not to get took than just about anybody. But in situations of desperation, goddamn, you gotta do what you gotta do to save a life. I'm wondering right now why it is that Tillamook is letting people off with a slap on the wrist for touching people bad. Are they trying to make it okay to touch children? That's pretty fucked up. I don't mind telling people what useless piece of shit they are. No, I really do mind. You know, when somebody shows up to the wedding drunk as a fucking skunk and falls in the wedding cake or falls in the punch or whatever it is, what are you supposed to do about that? With somebody who's autistic, y'all treat us like we're your drunken uncle. And because of that, we have to preemptively do everything. I don't mean first strike. I don't mean taking revenge or starting shit. What I mean is that we have to have a contingency plan and a backup plan before we even go outside. Because you guys are assholes. When we just want to be left alone, that's when you guys are the biggest fucking assholes. When we say, hey man, we don't like that word, that don't mean be fucking antagonistic and a little goddamn shithead about it. Anyway, I'm able to speak all right sometimes. Sometimes. When I'm overwhelmed, like, what am I supposed to do about it? Nobody gives a shit if a dude is talking. Nobody gives a shit if people are beating on a man, especially a homeless man. What the fuck? And all y'all pawning me off on other people like those other people are going to give a shit any more than you do. Or you think the government's going to be nice to me? You're nice to me and you don't even give a shit. So what the hell's going to make them care? If nobody else cares, why should they? Especially with their overwhelming caseloads. Who cares if they steal a couple of $100,000 from the American taxpayers to lock up 3 or 4 homeless individuals? And they just keep on doing that. There's some real bad people in the world. Most of them don't have evil intent, they just have selfish intent. And that's evil enough, and it ends up screwing them over, same as the rest of us. How many of us have lost loved ones because someone was selfish? How many of us lost loved ones because they were selfish. As a disabled and at-risk adult, I have no rights, so my safety all comes from you. And whether or not you give a shit, because you all know goddamn well the United States government doesn't give a holy fuck about anyone. When it comes to elder abuse, nobody commits more elder abuse than employees who take money from your tax dollars. It's easy to do. Doctors do it all the time and none of you give a shit. They'll also black box you. If you don't know what that is, that's where basically you go into a hospital, any hospital, and they're just going to treat you like you're a hypochondriac because you're a bum. They're going to take the government money, which ain't much according to them, and then they're going to kick you right out the door. Police officer comes in, you try to tell on the police officer says you're schizophrenic. Instead of doing their job about you being assaulted by a police officer, they do what the cop wants. They ain't gonna take no pictures either. Where are my Kleenex? My favorite 4 people ever. That'd be my little sister Tara, my older brother Eric, Natalie Bollinger, and Zyler Cox. Those are my favorite people. From my least favorite to my most. Why was Natalie Bollinger more important than either of my siblings? Because my siblings were not there for me. They were not family, not ever. They were relatives. I was family when they wanted something. How many times has my older brother tried to find out what happened? Never. Never once has he ever cared about my side on anything. What he cares about is what his friends think of him. My little sister, she's a very loving person. She also grew up with my mom, and she knows how to be vindictive more than most. Thank goodness she makes an effort to be a good person. She really does. She screws up a lot. Guess what? So do I. When I hurt my back, my little sister didn't care. My older brother was less than 2 blocks away from me for months. I couldn't make it there to see him because my back was too fucked up. Natalie came all the way down from Broomfield to rescue me more than once. Yeah, sure, Natalie Bollinger was not my favorite person ever. She was a close second. But she was able to do that in about 6 months of being my friend, if that. Prior to that, we weren't friends. She was some creepy fucking kid I just wanted to get rid of. Jesus, lady, can't you go somewhere else? Can't you go home? Can't you at least try not to make it harder on the rest of us? Hi, Lori.
Biodegradable. I've never egged anybody for Halloween in my life.
They've been up there all day. What are you up to? Hold on, give me a second.
I'm going to my apartment. My kid's not on Front Street. He's not down using Wi-Fi. So if you're going to be here a minute, I'll go back this way instead of the other way to get here. And I can try for, it should be cul-de-sac. I don't know. But should I ask?
I'm not going to make you. You're fine.
Well, no. I mean, okay, if you're not going to make it to my apartment, I got to get back to Luke's soon. But yeah, not, sometimes, like if people say Lori or Lori. Okay, I can't be put on Front Street, so my son wasn't trying to be a dick, okay?
Yes, ma'am, I know. You're good.
Anyway, good to see you, and please ignore the fact that, the egg is biodegradable. I've never egged or toilet papered anybody. I just had an impulse, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Say hello.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, man. Oh my God, my nose is running off my face. My ears are still oozing goo. Oh, my right ear is anyway.
Part of my mission too. Oh, it's cold as balls out here. This is Roy Orbison, but this is what I forgot. The trash dump, those of us that get nicotine or that.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I forgot to give you.
You know, as soon as you walked off, I couldn't help but I just started cracking up. I was like, you know what, I totally needed that.
Good.
It is biodegradable. You're all right.
Yeah. So I'll see you later, okay? I'm cold and I'm white.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am, you're good. Be safe.
Yeah, you as well. Good night.
Good night. There's a lot of nice people. Just like in Boulder, there's lots of nice people here too. And if those nice people would stop being nice and start being good and speaking up, when it makes a difference. I get that some of these people are your friends. I'm not out to hurt your friends. I'm not out to fuck over your friends. That's not what this is about. It's about the fact that I can't take care of myself. And I can't defend myself. And I can't just keep spending all of your money. See, that's the thing. I hurt my back a while ago. And I tried working after that. Y'all keep telling me to get a job. I tried. Y'all got no idea. See, when I Fucked my back over severely in Virginia. It was already screwed, but I was wanting to work. I didn't want to be a burden. No man wants to be a burden. And that's how women trap us. We're a burden. We have burdened them. We're taught that we're supposed to serve and protect. That's not a police officer's job. That's a man's job. Men are taught from birth we're supposed to protect women and children. That is our job. Women, for the most part, are taught different. But you might notice, if you look around your communities, that you got some women in your communities that aren't like that. You also might notice, if you look around your communities, that there's men that are completely different than what you expect. We ain't all the same. That's why it's important to look at both sides. Yeah, maybe he did call her a dumb cunt. Maybe he did, and maybe that is verbal abuse. But if she trying to grab the kids and drown them in the bathtub at the time, and he got to yell at her to get her attention so he could get there, yeah. She should thank her lucky stars that it wasn't worse. And I'm not saying it's okay to do worse. I'm saying sometimes you have to be a man of action. Sometimes you don't get the option of being a man of words, but if you're willing to try, God damn it, you're doing better than most. You notice when I start off yelling at these goddamn pieces of shit at 911, 988, and 211. You notice those stupid fucking cunts don't like it. You also notice that there's an older generation. Once in a while you get lucky and you get one of them. You notice I use the word cunt universally. That word's for a particular purpose and a particular reason. When your bullshit gets innocent people hurt or killed, that's what that name is for. Natalie Bollinger lied when she said that I stalked her. Virginia, that was her idea and her sister's idea. Mostly her idea. The one that pressured me to go there over and over, that was Natalie. The same Natalie strung out on heroin. The same Natalie that was shot in the head by Joseph Michael Lopez. The same Natalie. The Natalie Bollinger that y'all pretend that I'm a monster for being friends with. Meanwhile, I'm in Tillamook, Oregon, where they protect their predators and harm the victims. Same as everywhere else in the United States. God bless America, right? Which part? The rich people lining their pockets still? The police officers acting with impunity? You murder a man as a police officer, you get to go home on vacation. You murder a man out on the streets, nobody cares. These officers have been doing this for a while. Some girl threatening to Do violent things at the school? Well, shit. The police do actual violent things. Which one am I more fucking afraid of? When somebody's being bullied, yeah, it fucking sucks. How much bullying are they fucking taking? And how much do you expect them to take before they fucking retaliate? You know, when I retaliated, I did far worse than shoot Natalie Bollinger in the head. I didn't have to shoot her in the head. You know how I retaliated against Natalie Bollinger for pretending I stalked her? I took her words from an email she'd sent me in 2016. And I posted them up publicly with a video about how I ain't keeping your goddamn secrets anymore. If I'm gonna get treated like I'm a goddamn rapist and a child molester and a stalker and all sorts of other fucking creepy shit, get called a murderer, having my friends and family's lives fucking threatened, people getting a hold of me and telling me their kids were fucking threatened. Yeah, and what do you want me to do about it? All these people whose lives were threatened, you just shut up. All these people who claim that their kids' lives were threatened. All work together? We could have put every one of these goddamn pieces of shit away. But what did you do instead? You wasted my fucking time. You fucking lied to me. You thought it was okay to bully me just like everyone else. Once you have a position of power, dominion over me, you just can't fucking help yourselves. Many of you have no power in your own goddamn lives. It makes you feel better to have some power over someone else. That don't make it okay. Just because it feels good to hurt someone, to some of you, doesn't mean it's okay. That is some sick kind of thinking. The stuff that Vicky Rain did, you know, she talked me out of a lot of resources that I fucking needed. With empty promises of I'm gonna this and I'm gonna that, I'll pay this and I'll fix that. And really, Vicky, you're not gonna be able to fix everything. The point is to realize how much there is. Explain to them how horrible this is. Instead, she wanted to tell me her backstory more than once. Like, okay, can I get to work then after we listen to your backstory again? That was months ago. Natalie Bollinger and her friends and family, they're all horrible people. There was one person in Natalie's goddamn life that wasn't a fucking useless piece of shit, and that was me. The problem is we taught girls that it's okay to be evil. It's okay to destroy a man's life when you don't get what you want right when you want it. It's okay to be inhumane. A lot of my predators are dead. A lot of people who claimed to be my friend ended up dead. Natalie Bollinger, she is dead. Lanny Engeline, she is dead. Anna Hunka's dead. Rihanna Ingersoll's dead. Christine Buheit's dead. Morgan Burns, he's dead too. So's Tommy Gallia. All fucking dead. Rory Jepson's dead too. Anna Hunka's dead. Stephen McMillion's dead. Stephen Green is dead. Tim Cossack's dead. Fuck, how many more? How many? I told y'all to put me in the ground. You didn't listen. Before I told you to put me in the ground, I told you I needed help. I begged you for help. And you made promises. All of you made promises. I just got to be patient, be patient, be patient. No, patient to a woman when she says it to a man means never. It means I'm making empty promises and stringing you along. That's what I've been taught to do. And that's just not okay. Now we got a lot of older women here. They're being a lot nicer to me than, well, 18 to 30-year-olds usually. Before she turns 18, she just likes it when people are nice to her. That's where older men become more attractive. It's because we don't really feel the need to be a dick.
Take the next right onto 4th Street.
We're not going to hit a girl just because we like her, you know? Then, of course, they develop crushes. That ain't our fault. Now, from 18 to 30, that's when they realize that, well, they're going to have to do quite a bit. They're actually going to have to go out and get a job. They're going to actually have to go out and make a living. They're actually going to have to take care of themselves or find somebody to take care of them.
Turn right onto US 101 North Pacific Avenue.
For a lot of people, taking care of yourself is fucking terrifying. I get it. It's terrifying for me. I can't take care of myself. I'm also not threatening to blow up schools and hospitals. I'm not threatening to kill police officers and light their buildings on fire. Matter of fact, quite the opposite. I'm telling you how fucking wrong that shit is. But you get to hear how a lot of my predators, like Leslie Snell, and of course TCCHC, after they do screwed up stuff, they want to play victim like I'm some sort of a horrible person for telling the truth. Well, I'm not fucking falling for that shit. I'm not retarded. And that girl who was threatening violence against the school, you know, chances are pretty good she never had any such intent. Chances are pretty good that something fucked up was happening and nobody would fucking listen. Do I feel bad for the girl? Oh, hell yes. Do I feel bad for all the parents freaking out? No. I don't see any reason why I couldn't.
Turn right onto 1st Street.
They already arrested the girl. Why are you fucking freaking everybody out further? Besides that, she's still a human being and she deserves a right to speak. And after having her name fucking smashed around in the news, she deserves the goddamn right and the opportunity to say her goddamn piece while it makes a difference, instead of you guys making a fucking meme out of a goddamn headline. She'll probably get leniency. We're in Tillamook. She might not, though, because she's not a child molester or a rapist. It's fucking scary all over the United States like that. We got people taking positions of power, and the police force is basically used like a personal fraternity. just a bunch of assholes and their buddies doing whatever the hell they
Turn
want.
left onto US 101 North Pacific Avenue.
Using their offices as personal vendettas and ways to get revenge. How dare you tell on me? How dare you tell on me? And that's what their actions speak. So much louder than their words. A lot of my friends are dead because cops didn't want to fucking listen. You know Benjamin Harvey's dead too.
Continue on US 101 North for 1 mile.
One thing that absolutely me is the thought of getting a call that Natalie's sister disappeared again or died. I have to die first. I cannot outlive Alicia Bollinger. I won't be able to handle that. I can't handle my life already. I can't handle the loss of my friends, living or dead. You tell me to try to make new ones. I'm in a state of crisis. That is the most difficult goddamn thing to do. I have to try to pretend I'm like I used to be. But I'm not. I'm just a fucking ball of hurt. Every part of me is pain. Inside and out. Emotionally and physically. People harmed me and I went to, well, first, I asked the harmful to stop. Then I went to my friends for help. And I went to the police for help. Over and over and over and over and over and over. No matter what, they do nothing but send me to goddamn therapy. Or have you tried this? Have you tried that? I'd ask them all, have you tried that with me? I've done so much, but I've had to do it alone. And it's that alone part that fucking kills me. When y'all talk about how you did it alone, including many of the dead people on that list. We all forget who I am or what I did for you. You forget about the years of service that I gave to the people at Starbucks for their safety. The homeless in Boulder, Colorado for their safety. And of course, first and foremost, the safety of your children. Now hopefully in the interest of not wasting too much gas, hopefully none of them youngest down here. If they are, I'll just relocate. Not in trouble, not in just a fight. Well,
Your destination is on the right.
looks like ain't none of them down here. It's a few nights in a row. I'm beginning to think there might have been consequences for their little rally. Maybe their parents heeded my warning about me telling them the truth. That's right, I made a video saying, dear Tillamook parents, you keep your kids away from me or I will tell them the truth. I'll tell them the truth about the Keister Bunny and Shanty Claus. Of course, a lot of these youngins, they live here in Tillamook. They can't escape the heroin. They have no chance. They can't escape it. It's all around them. It's at their parks, it's at their schools, it's at their junior high schools, and even their elementary schools. You just can't get away from it. Then you've got your child molesters and your rapists. You can't go to the homeless feeds without running into them. You can't go to the churches without running into them. You can't go to the courts without running into them. When I was told this was a safe haven state, I thought that meant for immigrants, not for pedophiles, not for sex offenders. But you know what? Just like in Chapel, Nebraska, police all over the United States use pedophiles to exact personal vengeance on innocent people. People that they harmed that tried to tell on them. And in that particular aspect, we got to hear from so many people, from Chris Stafford to his former friend Amanda. We got to hear about how corrupt the cops are here. We got to hear from literally dozens of people about the corruption of the police here and about how it's especially bad here. And I tell them, hey, it's especially bad everywhere. You guys should be recording this shit. You should be speaking up. Or as you tell me, you should be putting on your big girl panties. All right, well, I got my big girl panties on. Now what? You're going to step up? You're going to speak up? You're going to be the change that you want to see in the world? Or are you just going to pass judgment on me and tell me what I should be? We don't have to be enemies. Now, there's a couple of cops here that, yeah, they don't really have much choice no matter when it comes to making a deal. The shit that they did to other people is inexcusable. Whether you have a badge or not, those things are intolerable. And a victim having to see their predator, that's intolerable as well. There ain't much you can do to change my opinion of you, except show me that I'm wrong. And I say that when I speak up about you wretched curs. You can prove me wrong, you just don't. When you showed me what wretched pieces of shit you were, I told the truth about what wretched pieces of shit you were. You could prove me wrong. When y'all lied to me, I spoke up and you hated, and still do, the fact that I spoke up about being lied to. But you can prove me wrong. You tell the truth. Is that really so complicated? Is that so impossible to understand? Not 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, when you never come forward about what you know, you allow innocent people to be hurt and or killed. That situation with Natalie Bollinger could have been cured by Natalie Bollinger acting like a fucking adult, because she was a fucking adult. It could have been handled easily by the police acting like fucking adults, because they were fucking adults. Through all of this, I'm the one who's called mentally ill and prevented from being fucking heard. And guess what? Through all of this, I'm the only one who started off acting like a fucking adult. I always am. You also get to see how many adults want to act like children after getting busted lying through their teeth. And how dare I, I'm horrible, and so on. Yep. Your patterns are pretty easy to read. So are mine. If you pay attention, you can even look through the evidence that's on my Facebook, and you can tell which predators I modeled being an asshole after. By the way, not all of them are predators. Some of them are just enforcers. What do? You might ask. Although you probably won't if you can give two shits. Those are the people actually keeping your kids safe when you're not minding your goddamn business as a parent. Your business as a parent is not to ignore your children. Your business as a parent is to protect them and mold them into the best human being you can make them into, mold them into, or educate them into. Your job is to be supportive. You may want your kid to be a doctor, but that doesn't mean that your kid wants to be a doctor and your kid's going to become an adult. And you can either be supportive of them wanting to be a rock star, or you can be a dick. Are you what your parents wanted you to be as a kid? Do you have that dream job that your parents always dreamed about you having? Is that what you do for a living? Probably not. No matter what age you are. Whether you're 8 or 80, yeah, you're probably not going to be exactly what your parents wanted you to be. And just because you aren't what they want you to be, doesn't mean you can't be proud of yourself. For me, deciding to be an artist wasn't much of a choice. It wasn't much of a decision. The only decision I had in the matter is whether or not I actually gave it an effort. See, I'm one of those people who's addicted to learning. I love learning more than anything else. Almost. My education doesn't mean shit without the people that I learned it for. People who had dreams, people who dreamed with me. I knew I was never going to have money, so I'd have to learn how to do this stuff myself, so I could help them achieve their dreams if they ever actually wanted to go for it. Maybe I could achieve mine too. I wanted to live in a castle with all my friends. Well, I wanted to build a castle with all my friends. And then I wanted to live in a little hobbit hole outside the castle and be the janitor. And I know that sounds like a pipe dream to just about everybody, but it doesn't have to be. If you know how to make your building materials out of the ground you're standing on, you've got most of the problems kicked. Biggest issue after that is your physical health and keeping the family fed. Oh, we got another one of these trolls on here. Maybe we'll let this one stick around for a while. This person calls themselves Dildora Sharipova. Anyway, you know how we end these videos. Looks to me like the Tillamook Sporting Goods parking lot is reasonably safe now. Sort of. I think those youngins should be allowed to fuck around. I really do. We should be allowed to be young once, preferably while we're still young. I don't think it's right that they're not allowed to do their fucking around right now because I currently reside in the vicinity. I'm glad for myself that they're not pulling those race crimes against me. I'm never going to side with the racists, no matter what color they are. I'm not going to side with the KKK. I'm not going to side with BLM. They're both racist hate groups, making things worse for all of us, every one of us, regardless of our skin color. And in KKK towns like Chapel, Nebraska, and Tillamook, Oregon, things can get real bad real fast. By the way, a headline come across my news feed earlier saying that Donald Trump died. I'm pretty sure it's just a spoof. If that were the truth, everybody in a town like this would have talked about it all day long. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and your sister's too, and no victim left behind. Amen.